Here's my review and walkthrough of Dr. Joe's latest meditation, Blessings of the Energy Centers 11, Blessings from the Brain. So this kind of follows his previous one where he does blessings from the heart, but this one's blessings of the brain. So what you do is, if you've done his blessings of the energy centers, he walks you through each energy center and basically give it attention, basically to wake them up and tune them up like you would a car, if you will. And so on this one, I just did it and I was wowed by it. So it's kind of the same concept. Let me walk you through it just a little bit. So he starts you off with the typical induction where he just kind of has you tune into the blackness. It's actually a pretty short induction just to kind of tune into your awareness of everything that's going on around you, or not going on around you, the blackness, if you will. And then he has you focus on 7, and 7 is up here. And I think the reason behind that is in 7, if you've been to some of his most recent advanced retreats, he has done this thing called Molecules of the Mystic. And he has you focus on certain molecules that are produced within your body. And those molecules, by giving attention to them, those molecules become activated. Now, they proved this by focusing on Serpent A5, and people increase their levels of Serpent A5 just by putting their awareness on it. And Serpent A5, it basically kind of helps boost your immune system if you weren't aware of what that molecule does. You don't have to be aware of what the molecules do. Just by giving it your attention, it wakes it up and gets it working. So his idea, I believe, is, this is my interpretation of it, if you will, is he has you focus on 7, where a majority of all of your hormones and molecules are created in your brain, in your pituitary gland, your pineal gland, wherever they are produced. Most of them are produced in your brain. And so he has you focus on 7 because it puts your awareness up here where they are produced. And then after he has you focus on 7, then he has you focus on 1, and he's going to work you up. So he has you focus on 1, and then he kind of has you connect the 2, focusing on 1, focusing on 7, and kind of connecting the 2. And I can't remember his exact words, but it's something along the lines of the molecules produced there and activating the molecules, because each energy center is connected to some part of your endocrine system. And so molecules or hormones are produced or released or used in these energy centers, where whatever seems to be activated in that particular center. So I'm assuming then that's why he has you focus, let's say, on 1, which would be, for males it's different than females, but whatever your molecules are in that energy center that need to be activated, they're being activated just by you putting your awareness on them. So before, in the blessings of the energy centers, you're just focusing on 1. And, you know, if you've watched my other video, I kind of give you a few tips on like how to kind of focus your awareness on those energy centers. It really, however you want to, just as long as you're putting your attention and awareness to where that energy center is, you're activating it. You don't have to feel anything. So by putting your awareness on 1, normally you're just kind of like, okay, this energy center is being activated. But now the molecules within this energy center are getting attention. And it's kind of like when somebody calls your name and says, hey, your name specifically. Then you're like, oh, you get awareness to, okay, somebody's paying attention to me. And so you're kind of doing that by focusing your awareness on 1 and the molecules. You don't have to be specific on what molecules they are. And then at the end of each energy center, or towards the end of each energy center, he says, for the greater good. And I like how he says that, because we want to better ourselves for the greater good. I could go on and on. I could make a whole nother video just about the greater good. But the greater good is non-specific to what those molecules need to do. Because in your body, let's just take like testosterone and estrogen. Those are very common hormones, okay? So for example, some of you might have high testosterone or low estrogen, but some of you might be the opposite, low testosterone, high estrogen. So wherever your body is supposed to be, then those molecules work out to be where they're supposed to be for the greater good of your body. So it's not saying activate them to make them go up and excited, because if your levels are too high, you don't want to activate them to go high. So by saying non-specific for the greater good, in my feeling, it was like, wow, that's cool, because it's kind of balancing it out. So then he does that, and he goes through each energy center, and then he gets to 7, and then he has you connect 7 down. So he'll say 7 to 6, and then 7 to 5, 7 to 4, 7 to 3, 7 to 2, 7 to 1. And then he has you move up to 8, which is above your head. And then he has you do the same thing there, as has you focus from 8 down to 7, 8 to 6, 8 to 5, 8 to 4, all the way down. And then he has a part where you lay down at the end. And I always love the lay down portions. I wish he kind of did that in every meditation. I almost kind of do that on my own now. I'll play a little bit of music afterwards so I can lay down and implement it, because I really feel that when I do these meditations, that implementation part, like you finish a meditation, you're like, okay, I'm done. And then you just kind of go to it. But I feel that that lay down part, I mean, if any of you do yoga, you know at the very end, you just kind of, I forget what it's called, where you just lay down and you just kind of process everything you just did in yoga. And I think there's really something to that, to where when you're done with the meditation, you just lay down and let everything that you just did to your body wake up, move, all that energy, shift it, whatever it's doing its work to balance it out. And so I did it this morning, and I think it was 45 minutes after the meditation was over, I still laid there in bed, because I felt so much shifting, movement, energy, whatever you want to call it. I was just like, wow, because I was like, oh, I really should get up now. I was like, no, it's okay. And I was like, just let this process, quit trying to analyze it. And I'm glad I did, because then finally I kind of got to a point where I was like, okay, I think you're good to come out now. So that's basically it. So if you're thinking of buying this one, definitely, I think you should buy it. If you've bought any of his other ones, there is no breath work in this one, because I know some of you guys are like, oh, the breath work, because I know I admit that there's times that I know the breath work is good and it's good for me and it does great things. There's some mornings, like usually meditate in the morning, there's some mornings I'm like, I really don't feel like doing the breath, so I admit I kind of fast forward through it sometimes, sorry. So I kind of like doing the ones that don't have the breath in them. Many of his more advanced ones do have the breath in them. So this one doesn't have a breath, just like his Blessings of the Heart does not. And it's very powerful. Very, very powerful. So not that his other ones aren't powerful, but this one, I think it's just another aspect to it. And I just really love it. And like I said, I really recommend it. It's a great addition to your huge list, if you're like me, your huge list of meditations of Dr. Joe's. So thank you for watching.